Hey. Hello, everybody. What's up? Welcome to the latest and newest edition of the Total Sports Ozone. I am the big old with the big mouth, Oscar, coming at you every day at this time. Gonna run my big mouth on the current goings on in the world of sports. And today is Pick'em Friday. I will be doing my picks for the NFL games for week 5 and select matchups in college football, probably about 5 games for week 6. The games that are, I believe, are the biggest matchups for this weekend in week 6. But first, today we're going to go over last night's overtime matchup between the 49ers and the Rams. 49ers came out on top, 26-23 in overtime. And quite frankly, the Rams blew this game. And the way I see it, the Rams blew it. Too many mistakes, especially at the end. Kyler Williams going in for what could have been the winning touchdown. And he fumbles right at the goal line. Well, I think the thing was about 3 minutes and some change left or something like that. That could have been a winning score. And he gets the ball knocked out of his hands right at the goal line. That's what's happened with the Rams last couple of weeks. They've had games. I mean, no doubt. They've had these games, and yet play here, mistake there, cost them the game. And then in overtime, 49ers kick a field goal to go up by 3, and Rams drive back downfield, and on 4th and 1, I'm still wondering, why would they call a run? Yes, what the coach of the Rams said, Ray, I agree with going for it on 4th and 1. No doubt. You got 3 minutes and change left. You're trying to win the game. Like my man Herm Edwards said years ago, you play to win the game. And that's what they did. So I agree with the call for going for it on 4th and 1. What I don't agree with, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Rams fans don't agree with, was the play. I mean, you even had a timeout before the play to discuss what you're going to do. And it's not like the Rams don't have weapons. Nachua, Devontae Adams, Kyler Williams. Matt Stafford was been dealing. He was dealing all night. Why would you call a run up the middle with the game on the line? Why would you do that? I wouldn't do that. I'm not a football guru. I mean, I'm not a coach. I've never been a coach. I've never been a player. And even I wouldn't call a run up the middle. I mean, everybody in the free world knows you're going to run it up the middle with the formation you're showing. The 49ers, the refs, the fans, everybody watching. They knew you were going to run it up the middle. Get creative. You could have snuck the tight end out in the flat. Boom. Easy first down. You could have ran a naked bootleg to another running back or one of the wide receivers wide open. Since they stacked 8 in the box, I would have called the tight end myself. I'm running a naked bootleg out to the right. Tight end sneaks out off the line, open in the flat. Easy first down, keep the chains moving, keep the game going. But you running up the middle? You mean it's like you didn't see that coming? It's like you didn't see the 49ers not going to see that coming. Come on now. And you had a timeout to discuss this. That's what I couldn't understand. You took a timeout to discuss what you're going to do on 4th and 1 with the game on the line. You don't get the first down, game over. And you call that a run up the middle? That's why they lost. Mistakes. That's why they've lost the last 2 games. Games they know they should have won. And again, they had another field goal attempt blocked. You think you'd have cleaned that up after having what would have been the game-winning field goal blocked in the previous game against Philadelphia? You would think, I don't know, but you would think you would work on that in practice this week. on field goal blocking, line blocking on special teams. I guess they didn't practice it or keen in on it enough. They had another one blocked. As far as the quarterbacks, Mac Jones was real good. He looked awesome. Really, he looked awesome. Looking at his stats, 342 yards on 33 pass catch, 33 and 49, 2 touchdowns, only took 1 sack, did not turn the ball over. He looked real good. Looks like the 49ers have their backup for Brock Purdy. I wouldn't, if I'm the 49ers fan, I'm good. Okay, we got a good backup. He's slinging the ball like that, and we 4-1 now? Man, we good. Let Brock Purdy heal up. Because make no mistake about it, Brock Purdy is still the man. And he's still going to be the man for the 49ers. Don't make no mistake. Let's not get nothing twisted here. He's still going to be the man. But you got a damn good backup. You can't deny that. You got a damn good backup. And 49ers sitting pretty at 4-1 in the NFC West. Hey, they can give Brock Purdy a chance to heal up, get his body right. Because right now, it looks like this is the 49ers division. Right now, that's what it looks like. As far as the Rams, who slipped to 3-2. I don't know. The Rams are a very capable team. To me, they're a playoff contender. They are. But you got to quit making these late game mistakes. Block field goals, fumbling at the goal line, interceptions late. They got to clean that up. Or they ain't going to go anywhere. These late game or overtime mistakes have cost them 2 straight games. And they got to cost, and it's not like they're playing chumps. They played the defending champions, had them on the ropes, let them off. 49ers were dominating most of the first half. Rams said, we ain't having that. Come back and made it a thriller. But again, late game or overtime mistakes cost them the win. They got to clean that up, or they're not going to go too far. Because the NFC West looks like it's going to be like it's been, like it was a few years back, a slobber knocker. Like anybody, any team in this division can win it. Any team. I even say even the Arizona Cardinals sitting at 2-2. They can win it if they learn how to block and they learn how to tackle. They can win this darn division. Any one of these teams can win this division. But they got to clean up the mistakes. The Rams got to clean up the mistakes. Those late game mistakes cost them 2 games against viable opponents. And they got to do something about that. But it was a great finish. It was a great game to watch, especially from the halfway through the third quarter on. It was a great game to watch. It was like the Rams was not going to give up. And I like that about them. But they got, again, mistakes. Got to clean them up. That's how I saw it. So, 26-23 in overtime. 49ers out, survived, basically, the Rams. And good lately, these Thursday night games have been really good to watch. Because they're on Amazon Prime, I don't tend to like to watch them, But lately, the last 2 weeks, these games have been really fun to watch, especially at the end. So maybe there's something to these Thursday night games. I don't know. But these last 2 have been pretty decent games to watch. And especially last night was really, really fun to watch, especially late. And 49ers, better watch out for them. Like I said, winning without their main quarterback, any team would take that. 4-1 without your main quarterback, any team would take that. Any team. But that's what it looked like last night in the Rams 49ers game. And it was, like I said, Rams, clean up your mistakes. That's all I can tell you. Got to clean up the mistakes. All right, we're going to move on. Pick 'em Friday. Love it. Pick 'em Friday. Now, the last couple of weeks, my picks have been horrible. I mean, they've been horrible. I'm trying to do better. I'm not a gambler, see. I'm new to the picking of games. Ever since I started this live stream, I've been trying to get better at it. Last week I was horrible. I plan on doing better this week with my picks. Again, now if you haven't seen any of my other Friday picks, I pick against the spread. I do all the NFL games for this weekend, and I pick select college football games, 5 or 6 college football games coming up this weekend. The more intriguing matchups, let's say. That's what I pick on, and I've always picked against the spread. None of that straight up stuff. Nah, I want to see how good I can be against the spread. Some teams I'll say they'll win outright. Some teams I say they'll win, but the other team will cover the spread. And again, I will not tell you which sports book I'm using. I don't think I'm allowed to do that right now, but I do use one of the major sports books for over unders and spreads. So let's get into it. NFL games for week 5. First game we got here is the early game on Sunday, the London game, Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. This is an intriguing game to pick because we got 2 backups playing. We got Carson Wentz for the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy will be out. It has been confirmed J.J. McCarthy will not be playing this game. So it'll be Carson Wentz. He's a veteran. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. But he's a backup. How good can he really be if he's a backup that has won a Super Bowl ring? But the Browns are starting Dillon Gabriel. This will be his first NFL start. It's a hell of a game to be starting. In London, jolly old England. I wonder if the King's going to be watching. We'll see. So this is an intriguing matchup. You got the spread says the Vikings are favored by 3.5 with an over under of 35.5. Will Dillon Gabriel? The question is, will Dillon Gabriel make any sort of difference in the Browns' offense? I mean, it can't get much worse. They're like 29th, 28th, 29th in the league. I know they're 29th in the league in scoring, 14 points a game, and that's stretching it really. There ain't been 1 or 2 games where I've seen them score 2 touchdowns. Will Dillon Gabriel make a difference? If you're a Browns fan, the only thing you can do is hope he does. But for this weekend, that's a hell of a game to throw a rookie quarterback into. Not just on the road, on the other side of the world. In London, England, against the Minnesota Vikings team who's going to be frothing at the mouth going at a rookie quarterback. I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one, and I'm going to lay the 3.5. I think my hope is that Dillon Gabriel just makes the offense click a little better. You know, just move the chains. Keep the chains moving. You got a good running back, Keshawn Junkins. Got a good running back. But try to use the other weapons. If you have any. I don't know. But I just want to see him take command of the offense. You know, keep it flowing. I don't think the Browns are going to win this game because I just don't know what to expect from this offense with a rookie QB. Until he shows me what he can do in a live game, I got to go with I got to go with the Vikings on this one at 3.5. I got to go with them. And I'm going to go over the 35.5. I'm going to pick the over on that one. So I got the Vikings with the and laying the 3.5 on this game. Again, this is in London, so it's an early game. I think it's about 8:30 in the morning Eastern. Next game, it's 9:30 Eastern. 9:30 Eastern, so this is an early game. I don't think too many people are going to be waking up early on a Sunday morning and say, ooh, let's see the Vikings and the Browns. Well, we'll see. It is an early game. Get you ready for the other games that'll be coming on. But we'll see. Maybe you want to check it out. Now, next game we got a call. Got Houston Texans on the road against what I would deem a very desperate Baltimore Ravens team. And I mean desperate. The sports book has the Ravens underdog at home by 1.5. And that's fair. What's the deal with Lamar Jackson? Will he play? And if he does, how effective will he be? And I'm gonna be here I'm on record to tell you, without Lamar, they ain't winning. They need Lamar Jackson. Period. They need Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry, he's not been the Derrick Henry he was a year or two, the last couple of years. At least not yet. Not so far this season. But I know if Lamar Jackson is unable to play in this game, Derrick Henry has to be the man. He got to tote that rock and hang on to it. Now, they got Houston favored at 1.5. CJ Stroud is looking better. He's looking better. And again, and the Ravens defense doesn't scare any. Right now, the Ravens defense couldn't scare a 5-year-old out of a car seat. It's not that great, and that's a real odd saying. That's a real odd comment to say about the Ravens defense. It's not that great. It isn't. Gave up 38 points at home to Detroit, and gave up 37 points on the road to Kansas City, who was not at full strength. What's wrong with that defense? Who knows? Who knows? But that defense don't get it together very soon. I mean, the Ravens were one of those little quiet picks to make it out of the AFC into the Super Bowl. Not the way they're looking, and they cannot afford to lose this game. They can't fall to 1-4. They cannot afford to lose this game, and I think they know it. They're at home. I'm going to take the Houston Texans, though. Until that defense straightens up, I think CJ Stroud's going to have a good game. I really do. So I'm going to take Houston Texans and lay 1.5. Now, in this game, because Baltimore's defense is the Charlie Brown. Wishy-washy. It is. Y'all seen it. It is wishy-washy. And you would never expect that Ravens defense to be wishy-washy. Well, this one is. And they better get it together. And they better get it together quick. They cannot afford to. They lose this game, forget talk about Super Bowl. It's going to be all they can do just to make it to the playoffs. And they'll fall further behind the Steelers. But with all the expectations they had, this one they need, and they know it. But I'm going with the Texans. And it ain't because I don't like the Ravens, because I don't. But it's what I see, what I've seen from the Ravens defense. And it ain't been much. So I got to go with the Texans until the Ravens defense shows me something. So I'm taking the Texans and laying the 1.5. The over and under in this game is 40.5. I'm going to go under. I don't think it's going to be a very high scoring affair, especially if Lamar Jackson's out. I will go under. I'm gonna take the under on that. But I got the Texans laying the 1.5. Next, got the New York Giants with that wonderkin rookie quarterback Jackson Dart heading on the road to take on the winless New Orleans Saints. Jackson Dart, has he breathed life into the New York Giants like they hope he has? We'll find out. This is a game where Jackson Dart should showcase his skills even more. The Ravens, even though the Ravens played the Buffalo Bills tough, they played them tough for about a half, like one half and maybe a half of a third quarter until the Buffalo Bills pulled away. They just got a lot of problems, especially on defense. They got lots of problems. Can't stop the run, and they stop when they do stop the run. They can air raid on them. Anybody can air raid on them, especially intermediate passes. They don't know how to stop that. They don't. They just don't know how to stop it. They just don't, and that's costing them a lot of wins. They play teams tough, no doubt about that. It's not like they did get blown out by Seattle, but the other games they played them tough, and they could have won if we play here or play there. Would have went their way, but 0-4, and you are what your record says you are. So I cannot take the Saints, even though they're home. I can't go with them on this one. I got the Giants, and I'll lay the 1.5. I got the Giants. Actually, the Saints are our favorite by 1.5. I'll take the 1.5. I got the Giants winning this one outright. I think Jackson Dart has breathed a little bit of life into this thing. Now, considering they're going to be without their best receiver, Malik Neighbors, pretty much for the rest of the year, I still like Jackson Dart. This is a game where he can prove he is ready. He can prove it. He is ready. He looked good, but he was, I know he was limited in his first game. I think Coach Dabo should turn him out in this one. You're playing a weak defense. I don't care if it's on the road. You're playing a weak defense. He should turn Jackson Dart out. Let him loose. Let him get down. Let him get funky. I got the Giants. I'll take the 1.5. Next, the over and under on that one is 41.5. I'll take the under. All right. Next game, we got the Miami Dolphins on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Another one of those games where you got one team that's okay at home and terrible on the road, and you got another team that's just terrible. The Dolphins have won what? One game against the Jets? Nah. But they've also lost their best wide receiver in Tyreek Hill for the season. Who's going to make up for him? I know he wasn't having a great season so far, but the cheetah is the cheetah. And you ain't going to make it. It's hard to make up with that kind of talent, speed, wide receiver. I mean, they don't call him the cheetah for nothing. And it's going to be hard for the Dolphins to make up with that. But they do have weapons. But they're going to have to step up, all of them. Waddle, a chain. And Tua, you got to step up. You're on the road against a team you can beat. This is a winnable game. But you got to step up. Everybody's going to have to step up. That's just to get the production Tyreek Hill could give you. But everybody's going to have to step up on this one. Everybody. And I don't think they can. I really don't. From what I've seen from the Dolphins this year, I don't think they know how to step up. And that's a shame. That's a shame. But this is Carolina. They are at home. They tend to play a lot better at home than they do on the road. That's Atlanta. So I'm going to give the nod on this one to the Carolina Panthers. Only because they're at home. Only because they are playing this game in Carolina. So I'll take the Panthers and give me the 1.5. I'll take the Panthers on this one. With an over-under of 44.5, I'm going to take the over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I do. Anything either one of these defenses say, oh, my God. Nah, not these defenses. I'll take the over. So I got the Panthers winning that one, and I'll take the 1.5. Next on the list, we got the Denver Broncos heading to Philly to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Should be a good one. Denver has one of the better defenses in the league. If you hadn't noticed, they got one of the better defenses in all of NFL. They lead, I believe, they lead the league in sacks so far through 4 weeks. So, can Philadelphia withstand that defense? This probably be the toughest defense they played all season. I know they're at home, but can they withstand it? 11 sacks. They go after the quarterback. I don't care if he is a pocket passer or he likes to run, do RPOs, whatever. They go after the quarterback, and they're successful a lot of the time. So you can't sleep on the Broncos defense. One of the best in the league. And Bo Nix, he's steadily improving. He is steadily improving as a QB. Will this be another one of them close games for the Eagles? I think so. The sportsbook got Philly favored as 4.5. Well, on this one, because of their defense, I'm gonna take the Eagles to win, but I think Denver will cover. This is gonna be one of those games that go down. Another one of those down to the wire. I wouldn't surprise if it goes into overtime. Well, I think this is gonna go down to the last couple of minutes of the fourth quarter. Gonna be down to the wire. But I like Philly to win. But I'd like Denver to cover the 4.5. If Denver loses, they'll lose by maybe a couple of points, maybe a field goal. So give me Philly to win, but I got Denver covering with an over under of 43.5. I'm gonna take the under on this one. I'm going to take the under on this one. Denver's defense, like I said, tough. That's gonna keep the scoring down. I go to under on the 43.5. But give me again the Eagles to win, but I got Denver covering. All right. Okay, that's a 1:00 kickoff. Now, next, got them boys, the Dallas Cowboys, on the road against Justin Fields and the New York Jets. Now, conventional wisdom would tell you to pick conventional wisdom, would tell you to pick the Cowboys over the Jets. Because at least the Cowboys won a game and they tied another one. I know the Jets are winners, but it's not like they've been getting blown out. They got beat badly once. The rest of their losses are about within a score or less. They've been losing by 3 points, 6 points. It's not like they've been getting blown out. The Jets' problem is they make the same thing with the Rams. They make critical mistakes at the wrong time, and it cost them the game. But it's not like the Jets are rolling over and playing dead. They play tough. They play it to the end. And I think with Justin Fields and the weapons, Garrett Wilson and all the weapons he got, going up against this pitiful excuse of a defense from the Cowboys, they should have fun. They should have fun. Now, with CD being out, or questionable, last time I checked, he was questionable. If he ain't playing, it's up to Pickens again. And Dak going to have an all-world performance again. But on the road, it never looks like that. It doesn't. He had a decent performance in week 1 on the road, but then against Chicago, will he have that kind of performance again on the road in New York? Because you really, I hope no Cowboys fan is expecting their defense to just turn it around after 1 week. Nope. And it's going to be up to Dak Prescott to save him again. I don't think it's going to happen this time. That defense is just that bad. I mean, it couldn't stop, like I said, that defense, we said, couldn't stop a cold with NyQuil. and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. So I like the Jets in this game. I really do. I like the Jets. And the Jets and the line on this game is Dallas is favored by 2.5. I'll take the 2.5. I think the Jets are going to win this game outright. I'll take the 2.5. Thank you very much. Jets win this game outright. That defense is just horrible. I mean, one of the most horrible defenses I've ever seen. So I think the Jets are going to have a little fun tonight. Probably going to have the best offensive performance of the season. I wouldn't put it by, and I think that's what's going to happen. So I'll take the Jets and give me them 2.5 points. Thank you very much. Over under, we got 47.5. I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over on this one. I think the Jets going to score at least 35 points. Maybe more, but I got them scoring at least 5 touchdowns. Hey, don't get mad at me. It's their defense that stinks. The Cowboys. When they get it right, let me know. Let me know. Please let me know when they get that defense right. Until then, I'll take the Jets. 1 o'clock kickoff for that game. Next, we got on the list, we got the Tennessee Titans, who are winless on the season, going out west to take on the Arizona Cardinals, who are 2-2. I like the Cardinals in this one. The Titans, they're trying. You got to give them an E for effort, but E for efforts don't make dubs in the win column. As simple as that. Arizona Cardinals, they have weapons. The only reason why they lose is because they get off the slow starts. And then they got to put on hellified rallies just to make it a game. They need to get off to a quicker start. Get out to a 2 or 3 touchdown lead in the first, second quarter. And I think they'll do that against this team. Kyler Murray, and I wish I knew what was wrong with my man, Marvin Harris. But I think this game he's going to get right. I think this game he's going to have like 130 yards receiving and then 2 touchdowns. That's what I like. That's what I expect out of Marvelous Marvin. This is a game tailor-made for the Cardinals to right some wrongs. I like the Cardinals in this game, and they are favored by 8.5. I think they'll win it outright. They'll win by at least more than 2 scores. I think it might 2 scores, maybe more. But I'll take the Cardinals in this one, and I'll lay the 8.5. We got over-under on this one of 41.5. I'll take the over. I think it's going to be a nice, high-scoring affair out there in the desert. And Cam Ward, he's trying. Like I said, the Titans are trying. They just don't have enough skill players. And not enough talent on defense. But they're trying. E for effort. But E for effort don't make dubs in the win column. Give me the Arizona Cardinals and the 8.5. That is a 4 o'clock kickoff. Next, we got Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up out west against the Seattle Seahawks. Tampa Bay, like I said, I want to believe in the Bucs, but they hadn't beaten anybody of significance. And then they went up against the Eagles, and they lost. Baker Mayfield has definitely improved. He is a leader. He has turned into a leader. He got mad weapons, especially with Mike Evans back, Godwin. They got weapons, and they always keep themselves in the game. You can have that team down 20 points in the first half. They're going to find a way to come back and make it a game. They did that against Philadelphia. They came back and made it a game late. And one play here, one play there would have went their way. They probably would have picked off the Eagles. But now they're going out west and a very hard place to play. I've always thought Seattle playing in whatever the name of that field is now, one of the hardest places to play, mainly because of that crowd. So this is another prove-it game for the Bucs. Can they go out in hostile territory up northwest and come home with a dub? I mean, going cross country. Can they do that? Do they have the moxie to pull out a win in Seattle. I think they do. I honestly think they do. I'm gonna take the Bucks in this one. The Seahawks are favored by 3. Give me them 3 points. I think they win this game by a touchdown. Over under in this game is 44.5, and I'll take the under. Hard to score points when you're the opposition up there in Seattle with that noise, crowd going crazy. What they call it, 12th man. It's hard to score up there because it's hard to hear. So I'm gonna go under. But I got Tampa Bay winning this game. Again, they're gonna. I hope they show me something. Again, they 3-1, but they haven't beaten anybody of significance, and all their games have been close. All their wins have been close. But if they can go out west in Seattle, and snag a win out of there, you're showing me a whole lot. I'm gonna take the Bucks. Give me those points. Thank you very much. That is a 4:00 kickoff. Next, we got the Washington Commanders going out west to take on the LA Chargers and Justin Herbert. I like calling that name, Justin Herbert. I got the Chargers in this one. I'm gonna lay the 2.5. I know this will be Jalen Daniels coming back and everything, but their defense is just not what it was last year. Last year, their defense I thought was a little bit nasty when it needed to be. It's not that this year. It's not. I mean, they gave up 34 points to the Falcons. So that defense got some problems. And now you're going against Justin Herbert and Chargers team that I know pretty much want to make up for that loss to the Giants on the road. So I really don't see Jalen Daniels is going to, of course, give the Commanders a nice little pep up, boost up. Just don't think it'll be enough to win out there in SoFi Stadium. I'll take the Chargers in this one, and I'll lay that 2.5. The over and under is 47.5. I'm gonna take the over. I think it's gonna be a nice scoring, nice little back and forth affair for a while, and then the Chargers will probably pull away. So give me the over on this one. Again, I'll take the Chargers and I'll lay the 2.5. That's a 4:30 kickoff Eastern. Next, we got the Detroit Lions, probably the hottest team in the league, going down I-75 to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't even know why I'm picking this one. Like I said, no Joe Burrow, no chance. And it begs the question, will the Bengals win another game without Joe Burrow? I don't know. But the Detroit Lions ain't playing. Yeah, they had a hiccup in game 1, but ever since then, they've been on a roll. I have to say they've been the hottest team in the league, even though they're 4-1. They got to be one of the hottest teams, especially on offense. They lit up the Browns for 34 points. They lit up the Ravens for 38. They lit the Bears up for 52. So in the last 3 games, I think they averaged about 38 points a game. Who's going to stop that? The Bengals defense? You couldn't stop Minnesota. What a backup. How you going to stop the Detroit Lions? I don't care if it's at home. Jared Goff, Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Williams. How you going to stop all that? I don't see it happening. And without Joe Burrow, like I said, no chance. I truly believe, and I'll say it again, the Bengals need to go out and get a backup. They need to get a more quality backup. I don't care if it's a rookie. Jake Browning ain't getting it. He ain't that Jake Browning from last year. I don't know what happened to that guy. He's not getting it. So Detroit, I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit blow their asses out of their own stadium. That's why I'm taking the Lions and the 10.5. I'm not even thinking I don't think the Bengals going to even cover that 10.5. I'm taking the Detroit Lions outright, and You can have them points, Cincinnati. You can have them, but you ain't gonna be able to outscore this bunch. You're not. Not as hot as they've been. Over under in this game is 48.5. I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna take the over. I think the Detroit Lions is gonna light their ass up for 40 points. I truly believe that. I think they're gonna light their asses up for 40 points. Cincinnati, if I'm wrong, show me. If I'm wrong, show me. But I don't think I'm wrong. I think the Detroit Lions and Tigers going at it, and the Lions is going to be like having sharper claws in the jungle. So I'll take the Detroit Lions and I'll lay the 10.5. And I'm going over on the over-under. That is a 4:30 kickoff. All right, next we got the Jacksonville. Oh, got one more. The Sunday nighter is New England going to Buffalo. Now, Buffalo to me is still the best team in the AFC. Right now, I got them number one in the AFC. However, the defense is giving me a little bit of pause. To anoint them as, a Super Bowl pick. A Super Bowl pick to win the Super Bowl. Their defense, they let the Saints hang around. The defense. Until Josh Allen said that's enough of that. And then pulled away, and the Bills pulled away late. But you can't let teams hang around, especially inferior teams. You can't let them hang around. You're not supposed to in the NFL. You let inferior, because this is the league with any given Sunday. Any given Sunday. So the Bills need to tighten up a little bit on defense. However, they got the MVP, Josh Allen. He ain't going to stand for all that noise. If he has to pick up the defense, he does it. He knows how to. But you can't let teams hang around. New England, at home, if this was a game in New England, I would be a little bit more concerned because New England plays better at home. They do. But on the road, they're Charlie Brown. Wishy-washy. However, if the Bills don't tighten up a little bit better on defense and the Bills don't get out to a substantial lead at the half, New England can make this game interesting. It is a division game. So it's very important for both teams. I'm going to go with Buffalo, though. And I'm going to lay the 8.5. I think they'll win this game by about 10. New England is going to make some plays and da-da-dee-la-da-da and put up a good effort. But I think, again, Josh Allen will pull the Bulls away late. The Bills, they'll pull away late. And then win it by about 10. The over-under is 49.5. I'm going to take the over on this one. Like I said, Buffalo's defense has a tendency to let inferior teams stay in games. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a good, nice, game in the high 20s, low 30s. Wouldn't be surprised at that. I still take Buffalo and I'll lay the 8.5 though. I think they win it by 10. That is the Sunday night game. And one more NFL game. We got the Kansas City Chiefs on the road at Jacksonville. Got the Chiefs favored by 3 with an over-under of 46.5. I told y'all about them Chiefs. I don't care what anybody say. The Chiefs are the AFC champions. Defending 3-time defending AFC champions. And until somebody proves to me that they can beat them and beat them pretty bad, I still say the AFC goes through the Chiefs. Yeah, I know the Bills are undefeated, but you got to show me you can beat the Chiefs. You haven't shown me that in a couple years. I still say it goes through Kansas City. You got to beat the best to be the best. And he's getting his weapons back. You got Xavier Worry back. And I think in another week or so, He's going to get Rashid Rice back. Then what? Then what you going to do? If you're going to get the Chiefs, you better get them now. While most of the other pundits and NFL analysts and whatever think the Chiefs are a little bit vulnerable, especially on defense. Well, you better get them then. You better get them now. You better get them now. Because once they got Rashid Rice back, oh boy, he's got it. When he gets his weapons back, all of his weapons back, oh boy, Pat Mahomes is one of the best to do it. What you gonna do? On Jacksonville's side, well, I'm gonna see Travis Hunter a little bit more. I know he's playing both sides, going both ways, but they need to showcase him more, especially on offense. And that's what I want to see. He's the number 1 draft pick. Showcase him. Put him in the slot. Make him get him some end rounds. Showcase the man. He is your number 1 pick. I know the Jaguars are trying to. Need to get. I think if the Jaguars start showcasing their number 1 pick a little bit more, their record's gonna be ooh-wee. They're gonna be on their way. But today, for this game, I gotta go with experience. I gotta go with the man that's done it. I gotta go with the team that's been there, done that, and got the rings to prove it. So I'm going with the Chiefs, and I'll take the 3. And I'm gonna go over on the over-under of 46.5. I'm taking the Chiefs in this game. I know it's in Jacksonville, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville makes a game of it. But like I said, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And right now, the Chiefs are still the best, and they're getting the people back. They started 0-2, they're now 2-2, and they're getting healthier, and they're getting their people back. Watch out! I told you, you don't ever sleep on the Chiefs. Not now, not until somebody beats them when it matters. So, give me the Chiefs and the 3. I'll lay the 3. That is the Monday night game for 8:15 on Monday. So, those are my picks for the NFL Week 5. What do you think? You think somebody should gonna pull an upset that shouldn't have? You think a team is gonna blow out another team they shouldn't have? Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Oh, yeah. You always like and subscribe. I will appreciate that. All right. You listen to the Total Sports Ozone with the big mouth. Now we're going to go to the college football. I got 5 games on the docket for week 6 that I'm going to make picks on. 5. A couple of good matchups, too. One matchup I think might cost somebody a job if they don't win the game. I'll talk about that in a minute. All right. We got, for college football, we got Vanderbilt on the road at number 10, Alabama. Vanderbilt's ranked 16th according to the recent AP poll. It's a good matchup. This is a good matchup. And y'all remember, Vanderbilt did beat number 1 at the time, Alabama, last year. I watched that game. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, Vanderbilt? I have a friend of mine who lives in Alabama, and I couldn't resist letting her know about it. She's big time Roll Tide and everything. And they lost to Alabama. Oh, yeah, I let her have it. I mean, Vanderbilt. But I can't say Vanderbilt. Not this year. Not when you ranked in the top 25. And that quarterback they got, he's the truth. He ain't playing. Vanderbilt is a viable team this year. And they're right there to get a spot in the college football playoffs. I think they're right on the outside looking in. But if they can go down to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama for the second year in a row, unless they fall off the face of the earth, this should be in. This is the game where Vanderbilt can shout to the whole college football nation. We here. Now you got to deal with us too. This is the one. And you got Alabama. I know they're going to be frothing at the bit to try to avenge that loss last year to Vanderbilt. Yeah. And they got them at home. Simpson is dealing. So, but I don't think Vanderbilt's scared of Alabama. They've already proved they can beat them. What can they do it 2 years in a row? This is probably one of the most intriguing matchups of Week 6. But I got to go with the home team. I got Alabama with the spread of 10.5. I got Alabama winning this game. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think. I got Alabama winning. I got Vanderbilt to cover. I think if Vanderbilt loses this game, it'll be about less than a touchdown. Touchdown or less. But I still got Alabama. Alabama is turned. It seems like Alabama has turned it around since that loss to Florida State in Week 1. We'll see if it's all come. If they have turned it around. Give me Alabama to win. Give me Vanderbilt to cover. The over-under on this game is 55.5. I'm going under. I'm going to go under on this one. I think it's going to be it might be slow-paced game up until like maybe halfway through the second quarter, and then watch out! There's going to be fireworks. I can't wait to see this one. I cannot wait to see this one. Give me Bama to win it. Give me Vanderbilt to cover. All right, next we got Texas on the road, ranked number 9, and they're going to the Swamp to take on the Florida Gators. If Florida wants to keep their coach, they got to win this game. Ain't no doubt about that. I think there's no doubt about it. Coaches are dropping like flies this year. Usually, coaches don't get fired until the end of the year in college football. There's already been 4 coaches gone. Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State. Now, the coach of Virginia Tech. The Arkansas fired their coach. Got Bobby Petrino as the interim coach. And then just this week, Luke Fickell got the boot out of Wisconsin. So these schools are firing coaches left, right, up, and down. And Billy Napier, to me, is the next guy on the chopping block if he can't pull this game out. You got a top 10 team coming into the Swamp with some people saying are an improving Arch Manning. Yeah, I know he's played a couple of chunks the last 2 or 3 games. And this was probably the hardest game he's played since they lost to Ohio State in Week 1. But this is Texas. And Florida they're just not on that level, I think. And I personally think Florida's not on that level this year. But Florida better get to that level in this game, or they're going to be looking for a new head coach. I have the gut feeling that if Florida, and especially if Florida gets blown out in the Swamp against Texas, they're going to be looking for a new head coach. I'm just putting it out there. I think that's what I see. Florida had better come with the noise, the funk, and everything else if they want to keep their head coach. Nevertheless, I got Texas winning this game. Texas is favored by 4.5. I got them winning this game by at least that much. Over and under, we got at 42.5. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over the game. I think there's going to be some fireworks lit up in this game. Florida might stay with Texas for a while, and then I think Arch Manning will finally pull away. He's slowly putting it together. He's slowly but surely putting it together. So I think he'll have a decent performance against Florida. Well, we'll see. Give me Texas, and I'll lay the 4.5. Next game we got on the docket, for week 6. Pull out my sheet here. We got Ohio State. You know I'm gonna pick. You know I'm gonna pick Ohio State. You know this. They're at home against Minnesota. Thing is, Ohio State's favored by 23.5 with an over under of 42.5. Best defense in the country. We all know it. We all seen it. Only giving up 5.5 points a game. I don't think Minnesota's going to come in here. They might score a touchdown. Might even kick a field goal. They ain't dropping 20 points on Ohio State. Not in the horseshoe. But I'm still not sure about Ohio State. They're not letting it loose like it should. Julian saying it's like he's playing so ultra conservative, especially at the beginning of games. It's like Ohio State is being so ultra conservative, and they got to do better than that. Especially the start of the game, they need to come out blasting. They need to come out throwing that ball all over. You got all kinds of weapons at wide receiver. Jeremiah Smith, arguably the best wide receiver in the game. Tate. You got wide receivers. You got a great tight end. Get the ball to your. I don't know who calling. Yeah, Ryan Hartline. He's calling the offense. Man, start the game with a blast. Throw it deep, Jeremiah Smith. Let Minnesota know we gonna bring the noise to you all game long. That's what only thing that Ohio State needs to do on offense. Quit starting conservative. Let it go, especially early. You got the best defense in all the land. Let it go. And then let the defense pin their ears back and get you the ball back and let it go again. That's my only concern about Ohio State is the way that they start off conservative. And then when the game getting a little dicey in the second half, that's when they open it up. No, open it up from the opening kickoff. That's what I want to see. Now, nevertheless, Ohio State's winning this game. But I got Ohio State winning, but I got Minnesota covering. I don't think Ohio State's going to cover the 23.5. I think they'll win by like anywhere from 10 to 17 points. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't see 23.5. I don't see them covering it. I wouldn't be surprised if they covered it, but I don't see it for this game. So I got Ohio State winning, Minnesota to cover. All right? Next. Probably not, to me, these two biggest games I'm going to pick. These next two picks, the two biggest games of the weekend, by far, in my opinion. Two biggest games of the weekend. You got number 3, Miami, going to number 18, Florida State. Not only is this a conference game, this is a prove-it game. Florida State got picked off last week. They're still in the mix for a college football playoff. But if they want to ensure that they get a college even an at-large bid in the college football playoff, this is a game they need to win. And they know it. You got the number 3 team in the country. Been looking good. Looking real good. Carson Beck in the game. But they're coming in your house. This is not only a conference game that you need. This is a prove-it game. You can prove, you beat Alabama and let everybody know you're back. This game lets everybody know you in it to win it. And then get that bad taste out of your mouth for losing to Virginia. You got to win this game at home if you're Florida State. If you lose this game with a loss to Virginia, it's going to hurt your chances for the college football playoff. With 2 losses halfway through the season, it's going to hurt your chances. You can realistically rebound from it, but to put all doubt aside, you got to pull this game off. And Castellanos, I want to say that they got a good chance with Castellanos. He's a damn good quarterback if he has time to throw. And Miami's defense known to pressure the QB. Nevertheless, it's in Doak Campbell. It's going to be a big time atmosphere because this game is on at night, prime time. I got Florida State on this one. I think Florida State is going to shake off them cobwebs from losing to Virginia and pull this one out. Now, they got Miami favorite at 4.5. I'll take that 4.5. Thank you very much. I got Miami winning this game outright by at least a touchdown. The over and under we got at 53.5. I'll take the over. I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout. But give me Florida State, and I'll take the 4.5. And finally, this is going to be a good game too. A lot of people might not think so. Oregon, they're gonna kill this. I don't know. They're at home. They just won a big game on the road at Penn State, but they can't let down. Now this could be a letdown game because they're playing Indiana, who's top 10, like they at home. This is going to be a great matchup, and I think it's going to be a Big Ten eliminator. Whoever loses this game, you can forget ain't gonna win the Big Ten. That's what I think. Whoever loses this game probably won't be in the running to win the Big Ten. Oregon, yeah, they got a great win on the road. But now you playing a decent team. Now you ain't playing no chumps at home. You playing a team that can punch back, and they can punch back royally. As Illinois. Now, if you would have said this at the beginning of the season, Indiana's in, they just got lucky last year and blah, blah, blah. Indiana has come to play. They ain't no joke. They went on the road against a top 10 defense and picked off a win against Iowa. So Oregon cannot, in no way in hell, take Indiana lightly, or they're going to lose a game. But this is going to be this is a very, very good matchup, and I can't wait to see it. However, I'm going to pick Oregon because at home, Oregon is very difficult to beat. Very difficult. But I'm going to take Oregon, but I'm going to take Indiana to cover. I think it's going to be a very close game. I mean, they got Oregon favored by 10.5 against a top 10 team at home. I don't like that. That's fool's gold bet right there. I'm not gonna take Oregon just because they beat Penn State on the road. You're playing against Indiana, and Indiana know how to score. Mendoza, Cooper, they can put up points against anybody. Anybody. Especially in the Big Ten. Especially since they don't have to see Ohio State. They can put up points against everybody else in the Big Ten, including Oregon. So I'm going to take Oregon to win the game. I'm going to take Indiana to cover. Over under is 53.5. I'm going to take the over on that. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up like 38-31 or something like that. I think both teams going to light up the scoreboard. So I'll take the over on that. But I got, again, Oregon to win, Indiana to cover. All right? So those are my picks for this weekend. College football week 6, NFL week 5. What do you think? Let me know. Leave a comment. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about my picks. Am I out my mind? I'm like, how could you pick this one over there? Blah, blah. Let me know. You like them? Let me know. If you don't, tell me why. I might not agree with you, but I'll always listen. But that's what we got going on for this weekend. Is my Pick'em Friday, and I'm looking forward to some of the college football games. I'm very looking forward to the NFL. It's a couple of them games I'm looking forward to because I want to see what the rookies look like, especially the Browns and Dylan Gabriel. Want to see what he can do. And, oh yeah, don't forget MLB playoffs this weekend. We going in the division. The wild card round is over. Detroit eliminated the Guardians. The Yankees sent the Red Sox home, and the Cubs sent the Padres back to San Diego. So now we're in a divisional round starting this weekend. Got the Cubs seeing the Brewers. We got the Dodgers seeing the Phillies. We got the Yankees seeing the Toronto Blue Jays. And we got the Tigers heading up to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Mariners. All those series are going to be best out of 5. They start tomorrow. All right. So we be checking in on how them series are progressing on Monday. And we'll go over my picks. We'll see how good I did and how lousy I did on Monday. All right. So this is the big old with the big mouth signing off saying enjoy the games and have a great weekend. See ya.